Good day, everyone, and welcome to the practical class of the design training. It's a great privilege to have all of you here. Okay, today we'll be going into the main thing that we have been waiting for. That is actually making a design. All right. Um, the first thing you have to do is to open your platform. That's the Photoshop. So click on it. Maybe your own is stored on the desktop environment. You can right click and then click on open. Then wait for it to open. Once your Photoshop environment successfully opens, click on file, click on new. Click on new, then select under your preset details. Okay, let me just illustrate all these things. If you're working on photos, these are already laid out, maybe laid out pattern or shapes and sizes. If you're working on print, you have A4, A5, A6 and all those things. You might not need to start customizing it. Add illustrations where maybe you're working on a website or mobile, iPhones and all those things. These are where you can see, or if you want to do a video, these are already customized ones already. But for the sake of our work, I want us to choose a particular shape and size that we want. All right. Okay, we'll click on print. Then we'll give the name of our file, say Photoshop training 1. Then over here, the units that we'll be working on will be pixel. We have different units over here, but we'll be working on pixel. And we'll choose our width to be 2000 and our height to be 2000 also. If we convert this into centimeter now, you see how much it is in centimeter. When you convert it to millimeter, you see how much it is in millimeter. The same thing in inches. Okay, so this will give you an understanding, or maybe if you want to measure it, you now know when we print our work how big it could be. Okay, let's leave it at pixel. Then this resolution 300, we'll leave it as 300. Most work will leave it at 75, but we'll leave it as 300, so that peradventure when you want to design and you want to print at the end, you can actually scale it to any size you want, larger than this 2000 pixels. Okay, for the color mode, we'll be choosing RGB because we will be distributing it on social media. But if you want to actually do the printing work, it's recommended that you use CMYK for print work. But for digital distributions, you make use of RGB. Alright, our background color, we'll leave it as white. Okay, we'll create. Okay, this is our environment. Like you already know from the tools to video that we had already, we've seen and we already learned how to make use of all the tools on the Photoshop, and then we are familiar with all the interface over here. Then the first thing we'll do is to click on window, click on workspace, make sure that our workspace is in graphic and web, because what we are working on now is graphics. Work on a graphics job. If for instance we are doing on motion, we can select motion. You see that we have your timeline for animations, but what we are working on is just graphics, a flyer. So select graphics, and then all the features needed for graphics will be displayed over here. Okay, this is our navigation pane. Over here is our navigation pane. Whatever we do here will reflect here. It will help us to zoom in. Maybe we want to zoom in a particular area. When we start the work, we'll actually see the importance of all these things. Now the first thing we'll do is we'll open our page. The first thing we'll do is to locate our files. Alright, what file are we doing and what are we trying to design? We want to actually design a flyer. Alright, this is the flyer that I want to replicate. We want to replicate this job. So the first thing we'll do is to start importing all the pictures needed and all the pictures involved here. All right, that's the first thing we'll do here, and then go back to our Photoshop environment. Let's minimize this one. Now click on File. Over here you see Place Embedded. Now click on Place Embedded. Okay. Now our file is stored on the desktop, so what I'll do is to click on Desktop, locate where that file is. Okay, Design 1 is the folder where I store the file. Okay, now where are all the pictures we need? We need this picture, so I click on this one. You cannot import more than one, so we click on them one after the other. But this one is the one we want to be first of all to enter, so click on it. We import the picture. Over here click OK. Now we don't want this hand to be part of our work. The major intention of using this picture is just because of this background, this smoke or fog environment that mist that kind of look. Okay, so what we'll do is to enlarge until the hand disappears. Just, like I told you earlier, Photoshop is a manipulation environment, so you have to bring it to like bend rules a lot till it suits the work you want to do. You have to bend a lot of rules. Okay, so you click OK. Our environment is already there. So what first thing we'll do is to make a little touch on this picture. So what we'll do is click here, right click on rasterize layer. Reason for doing this thing, like I told you, Photoshop is a pixel, it works on pixels, and so it's possible that you import a picture and then when you zoom it and zoom out, it will lose its quality, and when you look at the edges you'll be seeing something like boxes, small boxes. To avoid all those things, first thing we'll do is to right click and then rasterize the layer. Right, then we'll click on image, go to adjustment. We want to make it, give it a darker environment so that it could look more mature. Okay, come over to curves. You can scale up. You find out that it's too bright, scale down, and then just work so that you get to a texture that is appealing to you or to the work you want to do. Okay, I think this one is okay. It's okay. All right, so we've gotten the first thing. So the next thing we'll do is to go ahead and import other pictures we need. We need this one, Place Embedded, replace it. We also need this fire, Refiner's Fire, replace it. Now we don't want to work on this one, so what we do, this place over here where you see eye, you select this one that we want to hide, you click eye, it will hide it. Now let's work on this particular picture. Right click on it, click on rasterize layer. Over here you see normal, setting the blending mode of the layer. So what to do is select screen. The reason is so that it will be able to blend in with the background that we already laid out. That's this background over here. So as we selected screen, you find out that it's a little bit transparent. Okay, so we'll leave that. Then we'll click OK. Come over here, you have add layer mask. Click on add layer mask. What we want to do, we want to remove some of the edges around it. As we have added layer mask, we'll come over here, our brush tool. Remember our tools, our brush tool. Select our brush tool, make sure that the size is okay and the thickness is selected as 0 so that it doesn't have any hardness. Then we'll left click and hold and drag, left click, hold and drag around all the areas you want to remove. Left click, drag around all the areas you want to remove until we've gotten what we want. Alright, now I think this is too bright, so what we'll do is to reduce the opacity. Okay, click on it again, reduce the opacity. Let's set the opacity to be at 40. Then we've gotten that one. Then we can now enlarge it based on how we want it to appear. We can enlarge the picture, okay, but not too large. Okay, we'll press OK and leave. Now remember the picture that we hid before. So press that indicate layer visibility again. We'll make it visible again. It won't appear. So bring it. You find out that this picture now is under the layer of that fire, refiner's fire. So what we'll do is to right click, hold it, and drag it. Once you see this green light, this double line over here, it means that you have passed the layer that's at the top. So what you do is drag it. Once you see that line, you leave. It will come to the front, just the way you have in CorelDRAW and in some other places, and in Microsoft they'll tell you order to the front and order to the back, order to the top layer. This is how you do it. You kind of do it manually on Photoshop. So you click. If we want to take it to the back, we'll click, left click and hold, then drag it to wherever we want. All right, so I want to manipulate this this picture also now to fit into the work we want to do. So what the first thing we'll do is to add a layer mask to it, by clicking here. Then over here, just do what we did on the other option on our blending mode, we'll click on screen. As we selected the screen, we'll come over to images, go to adjust, select curves, then we'll drag it down a bit to give us a darker look. Okay, all right, so let's use our brush tool on it now to just remove some of the edges. Sorry, think let's rasterize it first of all, then select our brush tool. Okay, then we'll clean out some of the areas that we don't really want, so that it will be as if it's blended. You see over here now, it's as if the picture and this other picture, they are kind of blended together. So let's move it to the top and expand to cover up the whole space. Yes, then we'll go back to our image, curves, let's adjust it a bit. Okay, yes, I think the darkness is okay. Then we click on OK. All right, another thing we do now is to draw a box, a rectangle. This is where we want our final text, that's the dates and the venue, to appear. So we'll drop this one here. The color we want is white. We'll select again. We want it to have a white color. Click on white color. All right, we've gotten that one. Then we want to make it look as if that this picture is laid on top of this white environment. You know, this box is on top here, okay, but we want it to be as if that this picture have a kind of a balance on top of this place. So what we'll do is to right click on that rectangle, select blending options, go to drop shadow, click on drop shadow. All right, now our drop shadow, let's give it, okay, distance, increase the distance, let's work on inner shadow. Let's make use of inner shadow. Don't use drop shadow, use inner shadow. Click on it, make the opacity to be very, very bright. Then distance, depending on what you want to work on, but just try to get something that is okay. Let it not be too much, let it not be too little, that it will not be noticed. Okay, I think this texture is okay. perfect. Okay, so what we'll do is to click on OK. All right. So what next? To bring in our tests. So click on test 2. I'm sure you are familiar with all these tools because of the previous video we had. So all we'll do is to type in our tests. So refiners. You click on OK. Click on your move tool. Then hover your mouse on one of the edges, either here or here. Once it appears this way, then you drag. Just give it a particular size. Okay, now let's over here, let's make some adjustment. Now the font we want to make use of is Urban. So you come over here, you see Urban Jungle, or you type Urban Jungle. In case you have not used it before, just type Urban, then Urban Jungle. Then the color we want to make use of is white. Click on OK. Now we've gotten our. Now I want to adjust the size of the text. So let's give it 95. Okay. Now giving the size of the text to be 95. Now, then Ctrl C. Select the text. Press Ctrl C. Then Ctrl V to duplicate. Then double tap on it. That's left clicking, double tap. Then right fire. Then press OK. Then drag and bring it over here. Then scale it down a little bit. Let's say at 8. The main text was at 90. Let's scale this one as 80. Alright. Then we'll bring in our text tool again. Type right fire. Okay. Now over here, let's type the next font we want to make use of is taken by Vulture. So type taken. Taken by Vulture. It will appear two fonts will appear. The one we want to make use of alternates the regular. So select it. Then select our move tool. Then remember we drag. Okay. Okay, I think it's not this one we want to make use of. Taken by Vulture. Let's select. Okay, I think this is in caps locks. Okay, let's go over it again. Let me. My caps lock is not showing whether it's on. Okay, I guess it is on. Alright. Let's go again. Drop in our text tool. Hold Shift key for the first letter to be capital letter, then other ones small letters. Then hold your move. Then we'll come over here, type taken. So we want this one. So drag. Oh, it's not still gotten it. Okay, taken again. Then we'll click over here. Okay, let's go with this one. I don't know why. Okay, sorry. It's not fire that is supposed to be here. What will be here is T. That's THE. Oh, perfect. THAC. So you just have to be very, very careful while you're working. Now let's modify some things. This one will be giving it the color red. So move your slider from your color picker to the top. That's the red part of it. Then select the topmost red color. Press OK. The same thing you apply to this one. Move your slider, push it to the top, then select the topmost color, which is red. Now we want to add some effects to the text. So right click, select blending option, go to drop shadow, double click on it. Now your opacity, make sure the opacity is full, the size, then distance, make sure the distance is let's say 5, and click OK. I think we're okay with it. Alright, let me go over there again. Blending option, drop shadow, make sure opacity is 100, distance is 5.3, that's 8, then click OK. Alright, the same thing to your fire. Make sure that right click, blending option. Automatically, once you have already done that for one, once you click, it will apply it for any other one they are working on. That's blending mode will be applied to every other one. The drop shadow will be applied to every other text they're working on. So we've gotten our text, but our text is too large, so we'll click on it to reduce the size. Alright, now holding shift key, we'll press OK. Holding shift key will select the three text. We selected one already. Hold shift again, select this one, hold shift again, select this one. Then from the edge you can now drag to reduce or increase the size of each of them individually, collectively I mean. Then we'll drag it to the area where we want the text to be, and then adjust it a little bit to our tastes. Okay, now what we'll do next is to import the picture of the speaker. So go to our blend, place embedded. Now we'll select the picture and place. I already cut out the picture. We didn't cover the scope of that's the area of cutting out a picture for now, but I believe in the tools we were already introduced to that. Okay, so we'll place the picture to the area where we want it to cover. Now I want to add a little touch, because we find out that the picture is kind of white and it's not actually blending with the color of the flyer. So what to do is to go to image. As selecting the picture, we'll go to image, click on adjustments, our curves again, we'll drag it down, give it a little bit darker color. Okay, find out that it's now blending more with the picture. Then we'll now go right click, blending option, click on drop shadow to give it this type of feel that looks cool, this kind of cool look. Alright, I think we're progressing now. On the, if you look at the picture we had, they already finished work. This is what we have, and this is what we are trying to duplicate. So what next we'll do is you can easily, when importing pictures into your file, once the folder is opened, you can just keep the folder opened, then drag and place in. Now I want to drag in all these icons into the environment. So what to do is to click on this one, drag and place. We'll click OK. We'll resize it. Now this icon, we cannot work with it with all this background. So what to do is right click, rasterize it, then come over here, our magic wand tool, we'll click on it, select, left click, then hit delete key, hit delete key, select, hit delete key, select, hit delete key, select and hit delete key, the same way until then once you are done, click again so that lines will just disappear. Then you now resize it. Want to place it over here. Okay, we'll click on OK. They want to bring on their address icon. We'll place the address icon. Also, icon will resize it until we get to the size we want. Alright, we want it to be around here. So we zoom in. Remember what I told you about the navigation pane? Maybe we want to watch over here to make sure that the edges of the design is actually what we want it to be. So you can use this navigation pane over here instead of trying to zoom, and you can easily do that through navigation pane. Alright, so click and drag and bring it to where we want it to be. Yes. Click and drag. Yes. Just make sure that it has the uniform, like these two of them. I would have brought us into using lines. Okay, using lines to measure, making sure that they are well aligned, are properly aligned. All right. So we'll bring in, next we'll bring in the logo of the school. So we'll bring in the logo, click on OK, click on it, click on the edge, then precise. We place it where it should be at the center. Now if we cannot get center, just as selected like that, come over here, hold your control key, then press this background. Then once you press that background, all these features will come out. This feature now is like telling you align horizontal center. Once you click on it, to bring this image directly to the center of the page. Okay, but remember, you select this one, hold control key, then select the last one. If you select shift key, for instance, to select everything on top, so you should be careful what you are selecting. Select control key. Okay, then I want to bring in I think this thing is a little bit large. Then go over here, holding a control key, select this one, then align it. Then I want to bring in our text. What we want, the name of the fellowship. So everything will be in capital letters. So we'll type Joint Christian Campus Fellowship, Amaco. Okay, press OK. Find out that this is not the font we want, because well, this font cannot actually work for heading like that. So what we type here for this work, we'll type MS Reference. All these fonts are given to you, so you open your you must have installed it already. All right, so select MS Regular, or let's choose the bold. Then we'll reduce the size to fit into our work. Photoshop gives you a kind of alignment when you are working. It will help you align your work automatically. Find out these purple lines are telling us that this thing in the center is centralized. Okay, so we can now drag our text. Now drag our text and make sure that until we get to the portion we want it to be, then click. We want this text to be fully visible on the background, so click on white, then Ctrl C, Ctrl V to duplicate. We'll bring it up, double click on it, then write annual convention. Annual convention. Okay, then select the two of them. I'm holding your shift key, select the two of them, Then come over here, just like I told you, you have the align horizontal center. Click on the align horizontal center. So press on OK. Now, sorry, I think I reduced the opacity of this, so we are not making a shadow. So click on it again, increase the opacity. I mistakenly did that. Alright, make sure they are aligned already, just like we talked about. Then the next thing we'll do is Ctrl C and Ctrl V again. Apostolic inversion. Apostolic inversion. Now this is not the font we want to use for this work. So what we'll do is we'll click on it. Then from our font, we'll be taken by the voucher for this apostolic inversion. Then we'll reduce it. Remember, when you're making designs, there's a focal point where you want everybody's attention to be, and our focal point is this text, Refiner's Fire. That's why it's the largest text over here. Okay, so the first thing somebody should be able to read when I look at this design, the first thing I should be able to see is this Refiner's Fire, and then this picture. You understand? Then I'll be able to now, okay, Refiner's Fire, Apostolic Joint Christian Campus Fellowship, Apostolic Inversion. Okay, then you now start reading details. You understand? The first thing, reason why all these ones are big, and then you give them deep attention, both in designs and other things, is so that those are your selling points. If you have or making a flyer that the main detail is not visible, people can actually look at it, look at other, they don't normally, or they don't just find an interesting thing on it. You understand? Maybe we'll just put Joint Christian Campus Fellowship, and it now became very big. People just see it as something casual, but when they see the Refiner's Fire, they'll be like, wow, Refiner's Fire. What is it all about? Who are the people organizing it? They'll now start reading the details. Oh wow, which day is that? At where? You understand? These are strategies that you apply when making your graphics. So take note of that. Okay, we'll keep our centralized. Make sure that it's centralized. All right. Then the next thing we'll do now is to bring in the name of the speaker. The name of the speaker. So we'll type we'll be making use of the font and this is the font that we'll be making use of. Okay, this is the font. I've given it to you. It's in your folder, so you should be able to install it. So it's type Apostle. Okay, press OK. Gospel Onyewochi. Alright, we'll be giving this one a red color. Alongside with this one, red color. Then this one will be on white, but we'll be making it a little bit larger than other ones. Okay, so what we'll do is to align our text to be together, and so arrange the text properly. Alright, click on this one. Make sure that the font size that we're giving them are all uniform. So select 12 for this one. Alongside with this one, select 12 for it also. Alright, then centralize them. We can click on, hold this one, shift, click on shift again, zoom in just in case you are not able to click on it, then centralize the three of them, then drag them to where you want it to be. Now you find out that this white might not be able to blend in or be visible enough. So what we'll do is um, edit the appearance of the by right clicking, blending option, and then apply drop shadow. Then this drop shadow is too much, the size is too much, so let's reduce the size to around 12. Click enter. Nice. I think we've gotten what we want. Okay, I think we're progressing. Then over here I think we'll add a text. Okay, in Photoshop you don't type outside the box, they will not be visible, so you type inside the work area, that's where you have your paper. So type Malachi 3 verse 3. Then the font we used is this Amethyst Bold Italic. Okay, it's part of the font I gave to you, so keep it at white color and drop it somewhere around here. Just make sure that it has a good placement. Make sure that the placement is actually good. Alright, then the last thing we're going to do now is to add the dates and the venue, just like we'll have it in the picture, the college building and all those things. So college building ground floor. So go to our test, select our test, type college building ground floor inside the hospital. Okay, my text is not visible because it's in white, so let me change it to something more visible, black. Yes, then I'll change the font. Be using the font we use for the heading, which is MX reference. Okay, we don't want to use the italic, we want to use the simple regular. Yes, then we find out that these text, they are kind of far away apart each other, so we come over to this place where you have A and distance. So click, initially it's at 20, so select 18, select 16. Okay, I think this one is okay, this one is okay. Then Ctrl C, Ctrl V, duplicate it for the date and the venue. The first date, Saturday 8th May 2021, 10 a.m. So Saturday 8th okay, now leave it this way, May 2021, 10 o'clock a.m. That's Ctrl C, Ctrl V, duplicating it. We have Sunday, Sunday 9th May. Then we have it to be at 3 o'clock p.m. Press OK. Now align it, making sure that the both tests are properly aligned with each other. Or we can, let's leave it. I think this way should be okay. Alright, I think we've gotten to a point. Now we can now compare the two designs. The two designs that we made. This one and the image picture. And now compare between the two of them. I actually see that well, I see resemblance. Then remaining the last thing that will now add, just to add a little touch. So we import this one. Okay, so the placement, where we place it, like I told you, hold, left click, hold, drag, then pull it down to the place where you want it to be. Now I want it to be at the front of the people that are praying. So it will be at the front of the people praying. So drop it there. So it has gone behind all the text. Okay, to undo this movement, I'll press Ctrl Z. Then I now locate the layer where that effect is. Drag it. I want to enlarge it. So I'll do is enlarge it to the size I want it to be. Enlarge. I want it to cover the whole space. So I'll enlarge. Yes, then press OK. But I think it's too bright. So what I'll do is leave it as 30. 30. Perfect. Alright. We can just walk around adding some features to all these ones. Can add drop shadow to this one just to make our work more catchy. You understand? The main point of all these things is to make your work catchy, has a catchy look. And not just be that you just do the work and then people cannot relate with it. It's not passing the proper information, or it's an over design. If you look at our work, find out that we are kind of working with few fonts and few colors. I only work with 2 colors here, which is red, white, and 3 colors, red, white, and black. I don't want to add numerous colors because if I do, it will affect the design. Then the font also, I made it of I think 4 or 5 colors, of which 3 of them are of the same family. This one and this one are 2 different fonts, but they are in the same family. This font over here is the same font that I use here. This one is just a single font, and this one and this one are the same. Okay, so you find out that all of them, there's kind of harmony they have because of the kind of font. But if I decide to use different fonts, maybe I'll come over here, use a font that for this test now, and I decide to use this taken by the Vulture as a refiner, then now use this one as the THA. Find out that there will be kind of disparity between them. The message will not be properly passed. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And then decide to use the refiner's fire over here. There's no proper communication if I should do this. Okay, there's no proper communication, so I'll press Ctrl Z to go back. So the main point is trying to pass on an information properly that your audience or your target market will actually understand. Maybe you want to do an advertising flyer. What is your selling point? That main target, what do you want to pass on? Like someone that is doing a POS business, the first thing anybody should see in your flyer is what? The POS. That's the text, POS services. You understand? Then maybe a picture of a POS machine. You understand? So these are your targets. Your target when you are working on graphics. Don't just bring, maybe because you like a picture. I could bring people playing football and put here, but it does not add any meaning to this design because people playing football does not have anything to do with the refiner's fire that we're talking about. All right, and then just make sure that your design is very simple. Don't try to make things complicated and all those things, but then try to make a very good work. All right, okay. I'm expecting to see your designs very soon. Right. Thank you for the time.